This movie is as mad as cheese. Right, let's kick the knackers out of this thing. I'm going to try and get to Buffy in less than 15 minutes. So here we go. Scream 4. Haven't seen it. Knob that off straight away. Scream 1. Yeah, it's fine. Good idea. Similar to Cabin in the Woods, the way it deconstructs horror movies. But yeah, not... the kills aren't as good, I don't think. 2 and 3... yeah, I'm just going to put them at average. I remember there being a really good scene where they have to climb over Ghostface while he's unconscious, and that being a really tense scene, but I can't even remember which film it was in. Silent Hill. Put that in the wrong category. Anyway, Silent Hill. Yeah, it's fine. Good atmosphere. I'm just disappointed they didn't do the dog ending. Oh, and I've got a correction as well. I called that House of Wax last time. It's House of Usher, but my rating still stands. Silent Night, Bloody Night, haven't seen it. Sinister, never saw them. I don't know if they're any good. Are they worth watching? I don't know. Sleepy Hollow. Yeah, not the biggest fan of Tim Burton. It's fine. It's worth a watch. Slither, I haven't seen this. Cannot get it on streaming anywhere in the UK. I really would like to see it, James Gunn, but I'd have to get the DVD. Smiley, haven't seen it. Snakes on a Plane. Yeah, watch the trailer and the film in your head is a lot better. It's a bit like Anaconda. I think a giant killer snake movie could be really good, but this ain't it. Son of Frankenstein, haven't seen it. Splice, quite enjoyed it. Not a perfect movie, but yeah, it's pretty good. Student of Prague, sometimes known as The Man Who Cheated Life. German expressionist film, I haven't seen this. Suspiria, I'm going to leave that one there for a minute and come back to it. Suspiria, the remake, I haven't seen it yet, and it's on Amazon Prime, I just haven't got around to it. Babadook. Yeah, I like this movie. I found it pretty scarifying. It's, yeah, an analogy for grief, so it is a movie you can get a lot out of on a second watch as well. Invisible Man, another one from when I was a cub. Yeah, I haven't seen it in a long time, but I remember really liking it growing up, and the effects for the time that movie came out, I think it's a 30s movie. Yeah, the effects were really good for the time. Used to read a lot of H.G. Wells when I was younger. The Raven, haven't seen it. Or The Wolfman, haven't seen that either. Autopsy of Jane Doe. I think this is a bit like Jeepers Creepers for me. It's half a good movie. I think it started really well, built up really well, didn't stick the landing for me. The Birds. Alfred Hitchcock again. Yeah, again, not his best movie, but yeah, really good movie. The ending is fantastic. Love the ending. It's nothing like the book, actually. The book is very short, but it's almost like a name-only adaptation of the book. The Blob, the original, haven't seen it. Seen the 80s version, which is great. The Boy, haven't seen it. The Craft, I have seen. when it came out. Yeah, I'm going to put it in the B. I don't think I was really the target audience for it. As I've seen it once a long time ago. I remember thinking it was okay. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. Probably should give it a rewatch, and we've got the sequel coming out soon. The Fog. Not a great John Carpenter movie. Yeah, average. The Gallows, haven't seen it. The Grudge, I've got a review for that coming up. I'm not going to shoot my bolt now. I'll just leave it there, and we'll talk about that in a lot more detail in an upcoming video. The Haunting, the remake, piece of stool. Yeah, just a complete waste of time. Watch the Robert Wise one, don't bother with this. Great lineup, but even when you have a movie that even Liam Neeson can't save, yeah, don't waste your time with it. House of the Devil. I've only seen it once, but I remember liking it quite a bit. Tom Noonan was great. Hunchback of Notre Dame. Lon Chaney version. I haven't seen that version. Killing of a Sacred Deer. I own this movie and I haven't watched it yet. Yeah, Yorgos Lanthimos. Didn't even know it was a horror, but yeah, having watched Dogtooth and Lobster, I could see him doing really well with a horror movie, so I will watch it because I own it, just haven't got around to it. Last House on the Left. This is the remake. Really did not like this movie at all. The original isn't great, but it's got a really good grindhouse atmosphere to it, and the villain in it is very memorable. But this one, no, just a waste of time. Go and watch the original. The Mist. I'm hovering up here actually. I love this movie, absolutely love it. I was totally blown away by the ending. Even though it's not like it's a mid-budget movie, I was just stunned that they were allowed to get away with it. The studio let them do it. Yeah, fantastic movie, absolutely love it. The CGI does not look great, but I can look past that. Karloff, again, The Mummy. I've not seen many Karloff films, and there's a lot on this list. Haven't seen that one. The Others. I have seen this. I kind of begrudgingly watched it because a friend wanted to see it. Came out just after The Sixth Sense, when there was a lot of these ghost movies. And yeah, I didn't really pay a lot of attention to it. I don't know how well the ending holds up if you're on a rewatch, but I remember it being a bit better than I expected, but not mind-blowing, so I'll just leave it at an average. The Purge. Yeah, I enjoyed this movie. There's nothing subtle about this movie at all, like the politics or even the violence. Nothing is subtle at all about it. It was exactly what I thought it was going to be, and it was kind of also what I wanted. I'm absolutely fine with it. I enjoy these Purge movies for what they are. They're just a bit of dumb fun. The Ring. Yeah, that's a good movie. Unfortunately, I had this spoiled for me. Somebody told me about it, and when someone describes something like, oh, this scene, it's so scary when it happens, and then when you've been told, it just beforehand, it doesn't have the same effect. But yeah, I think it's a really good movie. Is this Way to fuck? Yeah, that's the remake. It's not the original. Haven't seen it. The Shining. Classic movie. Absolutely love it. One of my favourite horror movies. Signs. I've seen this only once, and I had the same reaction that a lot of people do at first, that it was like there's this alien invasion and the aliens are afraid of water, and you've come to a planet that's 70% water, and especially where I live, where it rains constantly. It's like, it's summer because the rain gets warmer. And I thought, oh, that's really stupid, and I was really enjoying it to begin with, and it ended really badly. And then when I thought about it, I don't think they are aliens, they're meant to be demons, which should have been obvious because Mel Gibson's character is a priest, and I'd really like to rewatch it and reassess it. But I think potentially that's M. Night's best film, if you view it as demons, and the water then makes sense as an analogy because people are dealing with their demons, and then water is very symbolic in Christianity as a way of washing away your sins and purifying your demons. So yeah, I think potentially that might actually be maybe even a good film. Mother of Tears, another Dario Argento. I'm going to talk about those two later. The Village. Yeah, it's dumb really, but I watched it with my brain switched off, and just went with the movie. And the bit where Richie Cunningham's daughter gets out of the village and you see what's going on, it's stupid, but it was just fun in a stupid kind of way. I don't mind it that much. The Wicker Man, the original, probably one of the best British horror movies of all time. If you haven't watched it, watch the director's cut if you can. Not final cut, watch director's cut. 13 Ghosts, the remake, haven't seen it. A friend went to see it, she said it was one of the worst movies she's ever seen. Never bothered with it. Tremors. Yeah, this is fantastic. Horror comedy. More of a comedy than a horror, but yeah, great fun, that movie. Love it. Trick or Treat, not Trick or Treat. Trick or Treat, the one with Sammy Kerr. Yeah, this is one from my cubhood, if that's a word. It is now. Yeah, I used to enjoy that. I don't know how well it would hold up. Tucker and Dale. Yeah, another horror comedy. Again, not scary, but a lot more gory than Tremors. A lot of fun. Great movie, really funny. Unfriended Dark Web, haven't seen it. Van Helsing. What are we on now? 5 attempts at getting the Universal franchise going. There was this one. The Wolfman remake tried to get a franchise going. Dracula Untold. The Mummy, all failures. And now The Invisible Man seems to be 5th time lucky. Yeah, a couple of good moments. I was so disappointed. The Mummy's a lot of fun. This, not so much. A couple of good jokes, but that's it. Velvet Buzzsaw, didn't see it. Absolutely loved Nightcrawler. Roman J. Israel was a real step down, and I just never saw this. VHS. It's another one of those anthologies. It's a mix of good and bad, but I'm going to give it above average if just for episode Amateur Night. Just that alone puts it above average. Wicker Man the remake. Neil LaBute, what are you doing with your life? He started with so much promise. Your Friends and Neighbours, The Shape of Things, In the Company of Men were all great. He looked like he was going to be a really great director, and then his career just seems to have collapsed. I didn't bother watching this. In the Company of Men, I have never seen so many walkouts of a film ever. People were so offended by it. I think like half the cinema left. No exaggeration. World War Z. Oh boy. Another director, Mark Forster, started off with a lot of promise, and yeah, he seems to have had some bad luck. Quantum of Solace was hamstrung by the writer's strike. Then this had a lot of production problems. That scene where it just stops to have a Pepsi ad in the middle. Jeez. Anyway, I kind of enjoyed it for what it was. I've read the book. The book's infinitely better. Probably lend itself to a miniseries more than a film, I think, if you read the book. Zombieland, yeah, funny movie. Bit like Tucker and Dale. Probably not quite as good, heavier on the gore. But yeah, I enjoy it. It's a good laugh. Final Destination. Yeah, I enjoy these movies, mostly. Wasn't too crazy about the fourth one. Yeah, it's just a bit goofy fun. Yeah, this one's a bit less gory, but it sets up the whole premise, and yeah, I enjoy them. I enjoy those movies. Salem's Lot. I remember a lot of people were just really strangle wanking over this series, saying it was really scary. And then I watched it, and it was a very long time ago, and I think I was mostly just bored by it. Maybe it's better than I remember it. I think if I gave it another watch, it might be a lot better. But yeah, I remember being quite unimpressed after the build-up it got. 30 Days of Night, sequel, haven't seen that. Lost Boys, been a long time since I watched this. Yeah, maybe above average. Yeah, a lot of fans for it, but I remember thinking it was fine. Coraline, haven't seen this. Neil Gaiman used to read his comics a lot, but yeah, haven't seen it. Alien Covenant. Yeah, much like Prometheus, really. Ridley Scott's a great director, but this just didn't work. It had some interesting themes that I don't think were well handled. There's some moments that are just laughably goofy. I don't think this was even the movie he really wanted to make, because he wanted to explore the engineers, but people wanted more Alien, and it just didn't work for me. It's one of those things that the more that you know about the alien, the less frightening it becomes. And it's got exactly the same problem that Alien 3 had, point of view shots. If you look at this, the original Giga design for the alien, it had eyes, and then he removed it and replaced it with a dome, because what he decided was that the alien has senses that we don't have, and we could never possibly understand how it views the world. So when you start seeing the world through the alien's eyes, it becomes less alien. And it was like Ridley Scott didn't even understand his own film. I'm just done with these Alien sequels. Alien's just done for me. The only one I want to see now, if you see some of the other original designs, the back of the alien head, this is, how should we put this, like a gentleman's part. Yeah, it's basically got a willy on the back of his head. And then the egg is like, instead of a cross, it's a single slit. And like, if you made some really insane Alien sequel that just leaned hard into all that, yeah, I'd be up for that. But that's just never going to happen. And let's face it, I mean, Alien's owned by Disney now, so we'll never get that movie. Aliens. Yeah, good movie. Probably about as good a sequel as you'd ever get. the idea of just going full on war, even though it doesn't make any sense, because the idea behind the first movie is that the alien is incredibly hard to kill, and then you just see them getting mown down. But once the alien's been revealed, I mean, that's all you can do, is just make a war movie. You know, I think Joss Whedon, when he wrote Alien Resurrection, was attempting to do a comedy and just take it in a different direction. It didn't work. This did, I think, as a sequel. It's a good movie, but yeah, that's it. I think Alien is done after that. Annabelle's, haven't seen them. Quiet Place. Yeah, this movie, it just doesn't make a lick of sense. It doesn't stand up to any logic. It's a good idea for a movie, but yeah. As Above, So Below, haven't seen it. Basket Case, it's been a long time. Very low budget movie. I remember quite enjoying it, a few good laughs, but it's been a long time. Don't really remember it too well. The Black Cat, haven't seen it. Black Christmas, one of the first slasher movies. Sets a very, very high bar. Yeah, it's great. I love it. Really good movie. Black Swan, Darren Aronofsky. I love his movies. It's a classic, in my opinion. It's a movie that rewards multiple watches. There's a lot going on in that movie. Love it. Blair Witch Project. Remember people being really, really scared by this movie. I didn't find it that scary. I remember starting to feel a bit tense towards the end, and then the whole bit with the guy standing in the corner like he's a dunce was just... that just destroyed it. It was like, what are you doing? Just turn around. I respect what they did. It's one of the first movies to be marketed on the internet. Good effort all round, I think, but it didn't really work for me. Here we are, Buffy. Yeah, not a great movie. I don't think we'd even be talking about this if it wasn't for the TV series. I remember only laughing in it once, and that was at Pee Wee Herman's death. And that was it, really. Other than that, completely forgettable movie.